Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we're gonna talk about the upcoming balance patch for Street Fighter V, the definitive update as they are calling it. Personally, I did expect a small balance patch, something that will keep the game in a somewhat of stable state, because I think it was in a pretty good state currently. But it seems like Capcom is going for a lot more dramatic of an update. I will be breaking them down one by one here, but you can find the full video, the full trailer in the description below. So let's take a look at it. First we will see a change for Ryu, and here Ryu is doing solar plexus into V-trigger activate. As far as I can remember, Ryu was not able to do this. I'm not 100% sure, but if memory serves me well, this is new. But this is not really the interesting thing here. Here you did crouching medium, or standing medium, crouching heavy punch, EX fireball, dash up, EX DP. And this means that Ryu is getting like, this is gonna be like 700 stun or something on this combo. Like, this is gonna deal some crazy stun damage, right? Obviously, to get the EXDB to combo previously in V-Trigger 1, you had to use the light kick Tatsu, which means that you have to be relatively close to the opponent. From a crouching heavy punch combo in this range, he would be able to do it previously. I see that the pop-up is a little bit higher on the EX Fireball, but the idea here is that Ryu is getting a lot more stun on this combo, which is pretty good. Next up, we see a change for Ed, and a couple of... oh my god, they're going about it too quick. Couple of things here. First of all, Ed goes for a bread and butter combo into the EX Psycho Rising, right? EX Psycho Rising, and then he does the knuckle. And here Ed, it seems to me like he's dashing or something underneath and is comboing into the flicker. Now, I don't remember Ed being able to do this, right? I think he used to get a V skill or a Psycho Upper or an EX Psycho Upper, but I don't remember him being able to juggle a 1-2-3 afterwards. If he was able to do that, my bad, but then he gets to do something he definitely didn't have before, and that's an EX Flash Knuckle, right? And what's interesting here is that it doesn't seem like he was charging it, right? Like, he was able to cancel out of the 1-2-3 immediately into the EX Psycho Knuckle, which seems to be pretty good. This is a new buff, obviously. I wonder what the input for that would be. It's pretty interesting. Next we're gonna take a look at Alex. He did the stun gun headbutt, which is the EX headbutt, and then he was able to link an EX elbow after it, right? I'm gonna assume this comboed. Obviously we can't know for sure, it's an edited video, there is no HUD, but it seems like it comboed. I wonder if this is a V skill 2 buff, or if this is something that Alex can do all the time. Will Alex actually have enough frame advantage to combo off of this? It's not the biggest change. The move is somewhat gimmicky and it is somewhat hard to land, but hey, now you're getting a good damage outfit. It used to do a lot of stun. It's a move that you would use to pretty much catch a deer in headlight, right? If the opponent is just not doing anything and you got them completely frozen, now you get to do a ton of stun, so this is pretty cool. Next up, we got a poison buff to V skill 1. Who cares? No one's gonna use it anyways. Ibuki getting an EX command dash. This is pretty cool. Now, I wonder if the EX command dash would have multiple versions, like the EX kunai. Like, would you have a medium kick heavy kick version and a light kick heavy kick version, and all of that would be pretty interesting. The interesting thing here is that it also does a ton of corner carry, and this could be cool, although I'm not sure if this would replace her just going for EX kunai in combos, because she does EX kunai and gets the Reda. It's a really good knockdown and leads to a lot, so not sure how useful this actually is, but it's pretty cool. I mean, she gets a new move that is pretty awesome. That's fine. Akuma doing V skill 2 and V trigger 2 stuff. I mean, not bad. Previously I'm pretty sure this would drop, but now he's getting it, so that is pretty alright. Yeah, this one is pretty great. Couple of really good things here. Obviously Gill is one of the characters that people have been wanting to get buffed for a while. What is pretty interesting here is that he's doing the meteor, which is the V skill 1, and notice Fang was blocking, and despite of this he actually got to put the burn effect on Fang. So this means that on a V skill 1, Gill can cause the burn or the freeze effect. This is actually the first buff that you'll see here. The second buff is that he will use a standing heavy kick, and previously on a standing heavy kick retribution, it will send the opponent flying away, but look at this, Gill actually got to dash up into a crouching heavy. So here are a couple of 2 buffs that are pretty good. I'm not sure if the V skill 1 buff will still make people use it more, but it's a pretty interesting one. It gives him better ways to set up the retribution mechanic, and now he gets rewarded even harder for the standing heavy kick. Might help him a little bit in the neutral, and then we get to see the standing heavy punch spiking the opponent to the ground. I'm pretty sure this is new as well. Probably gonna help him with some Oki. But again, I would imagine you would want to go for the shoulders because they would do more damage, so that's pretty nice. And then we get a really stupid change, the rose change. This one is too crazy for my own taste. Now, if you're not sure what is going on here, obviously Rose is one of the characters who is seen by the community to be quite the low tier character. Right? Her V triggers are good. This is Rose in V trigger 2. Now the idea about Rose's V trigger 2 is that any hit could lead to a lot of damage, right? So what would you do against it? You will just block and V reversal, and worst thing she can do is throw you. You can take the throw, don't quick rise, run out the timer, and that's completely fine. But what Rose is doing here is that she's able to throw you and then get a combo out of that throw. And this means that Rose potentially now have a very powerful 50-50 out of her V trigger 2, right? If you try to break the throw, she can shimmy you or like go for an airborne hit with the back heavy kick, and that could lead to a ton of damage. Or if you decided to take the throw, she gets full combos after. I mean, I wanted Rose buffs. This is a little bit too gorilla for my own taste, but we'll see how it will play out. Urian getting EX headbutt here. It seems like his EX headbutt is traveling a lot more, like the travel distance on the EX headbutt is increased. As if Urian needed buffs, to be honest. This is gonna make it harder to punish him when you neutral jump on his wake up, I'm gonna imagine. And it will make it better to use against block strings, right? As the opponent is doing like a block string that have a gap in it, the EX headbutt is gonna be a little bit better. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Urian was already like top 2, so. And here Minette is doing EX explosion, and this is a pretty interesting combo because the idea here I'm noticing, obviously this is a new move as well, she didn't used to have that previously, and the interesting thing here is that the orb doesn't get back to her, right? So once she does the EX explosion, the orb is not coming back to her. So you know, pretty cool change. I'm not sure how big it would be or how useful it would be, but notice here she is getting a lot of damage out of that. So that is pretty significant as well. And now time for Yuri balance patches or Yuri changes. And obviously Yuri is one of these characters who is getting a lot of love. A lot of people want Yuri to get buffed. Here, take a look. Colleen is almost like shaking Yuri out. That's kind of funny. But anyways, let's see what they did for Yuri. And it's an interesting change. Couple of interesting changes that I hope are bigger than what I'm seeing. So here Yuri is doing the EX, the EX Hazanshu, and she gets a store after. Yuri getting a store after EX Hazanshu, that is a decent change. It is hard to get this move to combo, but you know what, that is alright. It's not the biggest change, but it's fine. But then she's comboing into the V trigger 2, and now this is causing a restand. How useful is the restand? It's actually really nice because now on this restand she is immediately draining the meter from the opponent. Capcom have been desperately trying to buff her V trigger 2. I'm not sure why they like it so much, but I mean, it's a buff. But what's interesting here is this next clip. She's doing standing medium punch into crouching medium kick. So this is standing medium punch and then crouching medium kick into EX Fuha. So does this mean that Yuri gets standing medium punch, crouching medium kick on a regular hit? Or, and I hope not, this is a V-Trigger 2 buff. I hope that Yuri can do standing medium punch, crouching medium kick in the regular neutral. This would actually buff her pressure game quite a bit, because now she kind of have to be really close to convert. We all know how short her standing medium punch is, but the crouching medium kick actually is pretty good. So interesting. And what is Scream Freeze? What is Scream Freeze? I feel like I pause at the best times. But anyways, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, so Falco also getting new EX moves like her brother Ed. And did you see the range on this EX shotgun? And you can bet that this is gonna be plus on block. What I'm noticing here is that both Ed and Falk are cancelling into their new EX specials from other specials. So here Falk is doing a low gunshot into the EX gunshot, and a gunshot, an air gunshot into the EX air gunshot. Her air shot was already one of the more obnoxious moves in the game. Now she's getting even more damage out of it. That's gonna be pretty annoying. I'm gonna be completely honest. This is gonna be pretty annoying. And then we get to do some Ken stuff. Damn, that's crazy. So the idea here is that Ken is doing, he's in V-Trigger 1 obviously, and he gets to cancel EX Hadouken into the V-Skill 2. So this seems like a decent combo. I'm not sure how useful this would be. His EX Fireball in V-Trigger is actually very good. I wonder if he will be able to use EX Fireball, V-Skill 2 and get follow-ups, but he already has some really good combos with V-Skill 1. So I'm not really sure how this would play out, but it's a decent balance, it's a decent change. Gets to do some flashy combos, and this one is really good, but I'm scared of it. Now, as you can see, finally Preach, right? Finally, Kagi have a regular fireball, right? Kagi have a traditional fireball. It's still on the screen. There is some travel distance here. Kagi seems to have some neutral game. Finally. Now what is worrying me is that Kagi is in V-Trigger 2. So did they give Kagi a legit fireball, or is it a V-Trigger 2 fireball? If it is a V-Trigger 2 buff, this is worthless, because now you will have to drop to like 30% HP before you start having some neutral. If it is a new move or like a change to his Hadouken, then that is actually pretty good. And then another interesting change he gets here is that he gets to do his non-cinematic super, and he gets a follow-up after. And actually the interesting part here is that he got to juggle a regular heavy punch DB. So he gets the non-cinematic CA, then heavy punch DB, and then the V-Trigger 2 follow-up. This did a ton of damage, right? Next we have a look at Bison, and Bison is one of these characters that didn't get changed that much in the past couple of years. He have been in a good place since season 2, so I'm interested to see what they did. And gets a crush counter target combo, and then this seems like a new V skill 2. Now obviously here Bison is in V-Trigger, you can tell by the aura around him. Or this seems like a new target combo actually. So now off of a target combo, Bison can combo into his V skill 2. I mean, that's fine. Now he gets even more ways to build his V trigger. I guess in matchups where you don't need V skill 1, this could be huge. Sakura got some balance changes as well. She does the air tatsu and then gets a follow up. That's pretty alright, although very situational. Like, I'm not sure how situational and how useful, how realistically would you actually get this to land, right? It's not that big of a deal, but it is cool. It's a cool mild buff. And then we get to see the crazy shit. And okay, so this let's go back to this one, because this Guile one is insane. So here Guile is doing standing heavy kick, and then he's canceling it into the flash kick. Now there is two things that might be happening here. Either one, they changed the properties of the V-Trigger 2 so that Guile is no longer charging for flash kick, which might be the case, right? And this would actually buff his V-Trigger 2 tremendously, because now Guile gets access to a non-charge flash kick. This would be huge. Or Guile now gets to special cancel his standing heavy kick. So either of them are scary buffs. A Guile that doesn't have to charge for flash kicks is crazy, and a Guile that actually have a cancelable standing heavy kick is crazy, because standing heavy kick for Guile is one of his best normals, right? This normal is pretty obnoxious. It beats lows, it have a lot of range. If this is special cancelable now, then we have a problem on our hands, right? But even if it's a V-Trigger 2 buff, it's still really good, right? So now he gets a ton of damage out of this. A couple of Ryu changes here as well that are pretty big, and it seems like Ryu's getting a lot of love in this patch. Obviously V-Skill 2 leads to a wall bounce. This is alright. They are buffing his V-Skill 2. It is pretty good at the moment, but the reward on the follow-up hit wasn't that big. He used to get only Oki, now he will get some guaranteed damage on it. Makes the risk reward on it a little bit better, so that's good. But the interesting one here is that Ryu gets to super cancel his V-Trigger 2 follow-up. The V-Trigger 2 follow-up for Ryu was pretty good, but the downfall was that you can get a lot of damage, but the Oki isn't very powerful and you couldn't convert out of it into CA. Now you can, and yeah, that is pretty big. And then obviously they're gonna talk about the new filter settings they added, the like the pixel art and the cell shading and all of that, some interesting visual changes, some changes, and also some additions, like they added the Capcom Jam tracks that they have done, they've also added them to the game. So overall, seems like they are changing quite a lot with this, and I am pretty excited for it, to be honest. March 29th is a good day for me personally, and I hope that the patch will actually satisfy us. I am really happy that they went for something a little bit more drastic to give like the final hoorah to Street Fighter 5 as we are waiting for Street Fighter 6. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon page, the Discord server, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description below. My apologies for the phone ringing previously. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.